This is Chad, owner of AM950. Recently, I had a large order of custom designed t-shirts that needed to be turned around in a hurry. I knew exactly who to call. Grady Gear Company. Grady Gear Company is a local company that handles large and small custom clothing and apparel orders. I had a lot of questions from color, shirt quality, and what sizes we needed. Grady Gear Company was great to work with. They got us what we needed on time, and now everybody's looking great around the station in their new gear. Start your order at GradyGearCo.com.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight. And I first want to start off, before we really get into anything here, is first of all, thank you to everybody who appeared and showed up at our event at the 300 Clifton Mansion. Wow, that was an incredible, absolutely incredible event, and we sold out, which, you know, honestly, I'm sorry. I want to make sure people know that, you know, selling out, it means a lot to us. And the reason why it does is very simply this, is that if we want to do more, we need to be able to show people like our friends John and Norman at the Minneapolis Trolley Tours and 300 Clifton Mansion. We want to be able to show them that we have the people who want to take part in probably one of the most special tours that they had ever given, because we, as we talked about prior to the event, we were all over the place, and we were able to get special entrance and access to things that not everyone was able to get into. And over in Eden Prairie, our very own Adam and his wife and daughter all joined us on the event. And Adam, what did you think?
I thought it was excellent. Not only the narrative that John would give on the trolley tour himself, but we did get to go in and do some of 300 Clifton and one of the other locations as well. Plus, it means a lot to me because it was my daughter's first ever paranormal investigation. She had a blast. She had a little bit of activity happen with the device she was using at one of the locations. It was amazing. Good. And I'm happy to hear it. Everyone looked like they had a fun time. I did post pictures over at some pictures, not a ton, maybe about 8, 9, 10, something like that, over at GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun on Facebook. And I think AM 950, I posted them there as well. Just, you know, first of all, to show that we got a great turnout for it, but some pictures of the inside the trolley, inside the mansion. Oh my gosh, we had a great time there. So, and Adam, it was good to see you out there. I'm glad that you and Danielle and your daughter had a great time, and it was really cool, wasn't it? It was an absolute blast, and to anybody who wants to do the trolley tour, absolutely do it. It is a fantastic trip around Minneapolis, all the mansions and other spots that are purportedly haunted in the Minneapolis area. Just in so much history too. Plus they've got the murder, the true crime one, which sounds insanely interesting. And you can always go to their website, the300clifton.com, to peep all of that information out. But I would definitely suggest doing that. It is a blast.
Now we're going to be talking more about this on Casual Friday, so make sure you join us for Casual Friday. It's a live show on Friday, so I don't want to take us too far off because it's been a while, and I am so excited. I am so excited that we are able to have on with psychic medium Deb tonight, and it's been, you know, there's been a lot of stuff going on, and tonight is one question readings, but there's other things that we're going to talk about as well. So I just want to say, Deb, how are you doing tonight?
Good, thank you. I'm so happy to be back. It's been a while for sure.
It has been, and the last time because I always do art for all the shows, and the last time that when I pulled up your art file, it was September 18th, and that one wasn't actually, that's not correct either. So it's been a while, and quite frankly, Deb, we missed you. It's so good to see you. It's so good to hear. It's fun to hear Dave in the background
He's
heading
here.
into the show. So I think that this is really great. So I really appreciate having you on tonight. It's good to see you. And that's what I love when we do this. It's like having old friends come on, and it just and we've all been through some stuff lately, haven't we? And you have been through quite a lot, and I think it's important that people know what's kind of going on, in a sense, because it affects how to get a hold of you and what to look forward to. And Deb, I'm just going to let you let people know what's been going on.
Sure. Yeah. So, Refined Divine, our Facebook page of 14,000 followers, was taken down and just ripped from us.
Yeah.
And the reason why they gave us was that because we were giving away too many free things. They said that our Refined Divine page was baiting people by giving them free things. Well, if they mean baiting by being a good person, then they got me pegged.
Absolutely. And that's, I mean, and folks, my struggles and whatnot. And I do want to quickly, before you go further, Deb, I just want to say that Cindy is in the audience. Well, that's not the right Cindy. Is that the right Cindy?
That's Cindy.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because I'm like, it's been such a journey for me the last couple of weeks that I don't even know who's who anymore. Cindy, I apologize. Thank goodness it's you.
Cindy.
And Cindy helped me get my Facebook page up and running.
Oh, yes. Okay. That's a different Cindy.
It is a different Cindy. Okay, that's what I thought. It's Cindy Torres, isn't it?
No, yeah, that's Cindy Torres.
Yeah.
This is Cindy Miriam. She's
God.
one of my students. She's in my business mentoring, and she also does a lot of the shows.
Well, hi, Cindy. It's nice to have you on here. Sorry, I don't know who. I'm sorry, I'm getting it completely wrong. That's why we're just going to let Deb keep talking now about how people can get a hold of you.
Yeah, so they did take away our Refined Divine page, and they said that they were going to take it down for 10 years. So apparently, I'm in Facebook jail for 10 years.
I mean, I don't. It's just first of all, it's horrific. But secondly, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
It is. And they said that they're going to be cracking down on all of their business pages that are giving away free things. So just for everybody out there, it seems that I have to go through things and I'm the biggest example. And then I teach people, not what to do. So let's take this example for an example so you don't lose your Facebook page. Don't give away free stuff because they will shut you down, apparently. And so we have started a new Facebook page. It is Garden of Eden Medium, which I absolutely love. We are in Galesville, and it is known as the Garden of Eden. And I'm really close to Jesus's teachings and everything about the beginning of times. And so Garden of Eden just really fits. And so that's our new name, Garden of Eden Medium. Same website, yes.
Still same website, Garden of Eden Medium. Well, it's already hard for me to say, and I'm easily confused here. So Facebook.com, Garden of Eden Medium.
On Facebook, yeah.
Please go there, and I'm going to put it into the comments right now. Please, folks, those of you who have gotten readings from her and everything else, please go there and like the page. It's important to kind of build up that group, because it's what you're doing is important. You want people to be able to experience what you're doing and know what you're doing, because what you are being able to send people and give people is help, and this is what they need. So and I have people in the chat. They're all saying hello to you. Jolene just says that she liked it. Jolene also asked, what's the significance of the Raggedy Ann doll? I'd like to know the significance of why I can't talk anymore. But I think that has to do with the fact that I'm a little rusty. I haven't done one of these since Friday. The Raggedy Ann doll, if you ever seen like the Conjuring films and you see the doll Annabelle, the real Annabelle, which Ed and Lorraine Warren they got in their museum, was actually a Raggedy Ann doll, not some kind of creepy thing that's in the films. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I got people in the comments saying that they liked and followed. So this is what we want to do tonight. This is what we'd like to do tonight. First of all, it is one question readings. If you do have a question that you'd like Deb to answer tonight, it could be a question about money, jobs. It's not meant to be heavy, okay? It's not meant to be something where you're asking about a neighbor was murdered, you know who it is, it's nothing like that, okay? And most of you know what this is. Also not about politics, not about medical, it's just very much, if you want to get deep in the woods about stuff that's going on with you, go to refinedivinepsychic.com and schedule time. Or do you prefer that opposed to them trying to schedule time through Garden of Eden Medium on Facebook?
You can do either. Garden of Eden Medium on Facebook is the faster way because they don't check the website all day long. So I'll get a bing when the Garden of Medium messenger goes off.
Absolutely. And folks, you could put your question into the comments. What we like to say is if you call in, you get to the front of the line, okay? You get right up to the line. Call in 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. Love to hear from you. Love to hear if you have any questions that you'd like Deb to answer. But in the meantime, while we're doing that, and this is going to be the theme throughout the night, and that I think this will be helpful to everybody, is we were kind of talking about the same thing in different times before the show started. And what that is I have a lot of friends, and even including myself, who are like, things are pretty bad at the moment. They're just tough. Things are just tough. They're it's like whatever could go wrong will go wrong. It doesn't feel like you're making waves, that you're just wondering what's the point, and that energy just feels so off and so actually oppressive that you're just wondering what is happening. And before the show, I asked Deb, I just like to ask the question of, like, when's it going to get better for all of us? And it was kind of refreshing, because it's like you're kind of like, actually, I kind of want to talk about the same thing too.
Yes, absolutely. Because everybody is really going through a really slumpy time right now. And even if we aren't being drastically affected, we're affected in some way, shape, or form. I mean, literally, we can go to physical things in our house. We've lost the refrigerator, we lost the stove, we lost the dryer, and the car blew up that we just bought 6 months ago. The engine blew.
Yeah.
And so we are just like, holy man, you did not need the dump button. You're welcome, Adam. We are just like, holy man. We're just hit with that. And then Refined Divine going under. We had to put our dog to sleep. Our cat got run over. We are just like, what is happening? And I've been doing readings, and everybody just keeps saying the same thing. Like, we're having severe illnesses, houses on fire, wrecks, crashes, people dying left and right. It really is just a very, very dark time. And so Spirit says to us that we must cycle through dark periods to know the light. And what happens is the energy of the world turns on us during times, because we must keep the balance of the yin and the yang. And so when we are in a balance of more light than dark, the world will turn, and then everybody will have more negative circumstances that affect their lives in a stronger way. And so they say to us, the further we are pulled down into the darkness, when the string is let go, the higher we fly up. And so every 100 years, if you go all the way back in time, you will watch it repeat itself every 100 years. There'll be a plague, there'll be a war, there will be, all these things that happen even on a global level, that everything just repeats itself. And so Nostradamus, he was one of the teachings that I channeled for a very long time, probably 6 years. I studied a lot of Nostradamus stuff I would channel through, and he talked to us about the end of times with the way we know it. He talks about a false prophet leading the world into darkness, and we don't talk about religion, but or politics, but I will
Yep.
say that this false prophet is Trump, and that is what's leading a lot of the mass consciousness more towards that dark side.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we're seeing a lot of the mass consciousness thoughts turning dark, their actions are turning dark, and that bleeds out in everything around us.
It's interesting, and I'm gonna kind of step in here and let people know this is kind of a little unprecedented for us, because we don't normally go into politics at all, and I know you don't go into politics at all.
I don't either.
And so that's where it's like, and I know that that is one of those things that I know that is very polarizing. But it's that's something that this time of year we are getting close to an election. It feels like that what you're talking about, it's ramping up the feelings, the anger, everything else. Look at the world. Look at the look at Iran. Look at Israel right now. This is a cycle, and this isn't something that is just that people are just realizing now. This is something where it's been out there, and I'm not even talking Nostradamus. I'm talking about just like over the past 4 years of people saying, once we get to this time period, and not naming names, we're not naming political figures or anything else, but just know it's going to be extraordinarily raucous. It's just going to be, you think things are bad, it's going to be absolutely horrific. And that's just the
Yes.
energy that's been felt for the past many years, that people have been kind of waiting for this to come up.
Yeah. And normally I wouldn't talk about things like that, but that was completely channeled, Greg.
Yeah.
That just flew right out. I was like, wait, yeah, we weren't supposed to do that. But that you're exactly right. We are headed towards that catastrophic energy, and it's becoming heavier and heavier and darker and darker. And I was hearing about our food and a restriction of food and in the United States. And I looked at Dave and I was like, why am I hearing them talk about restriction of food? And I went on and I Googled and I saw all the ports are closed into the US. And I
Mhm.
looked at Dave and I said, oh no. I was like, this is just going to add to everybody that is already under strain.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. We need to get a break in here. And it's the worst thing too of like, we're talking about some very serious stuff right now, but we got a break, and that's an unfortunate thing. Once again, folks, really what I'd like to do as well, your questions, they're very important. Put them in. We do want to talk more about energy and stuff, and just kind of what do we see? How do we see this going? It's kind of it's. I know that a lot of people aren't going to want to hear what that is, or some. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. Some of the stuff that Deb just said by naming names, but you know what? We're going to talk about it and put in your thoughts. I don't want this to become ugly, but put in your thoughts on it as well. And there's a couple questions in there not about this, so we're going to get to them as well. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. And welcome back to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you so very much for joining us. And you know what? As usual, I am not quite prepared for after the break, because one thing I wanted to talk about here is that we just listened to an ad by Gritty Gear. And for those of you who are around here in the Twin Cities area and stuff, and you want to kind of understand like the type of clothing and stuff that they have, they're going to be actually at the Anoka County Fairgrounds October 4th, 5th, and 6th at the Fall Festival. and they're going to be able to. You're gonna see their shirts. If you like what they're doing, if you like their shirts, you can even get your own custom shirts, order them, whatever. Check them out. Say hi to Nicole. If you are out there, please let her know that you heard about it through GhostBox. Would love to be able to share that and make sure that you know where to get some really great shirts. We are talking with psychic medium Deb tonight, who keeps turning the mic on every time I try to mute her because she's making noises over in Wisconsin right now. Just saying.
Sorry.
No. It's good. It's all part of the fabric of the program. It's all, just we could blame Adam is what we could do.
Might as well. Everyone else does.
It's so much easier, Deb, if we just blame Adam for what it is. And
or we could blame Dave because he didn't set me up correctly.
No, I noticed that too. I noticed that he didn't set you up correctly. And Adam sent me a private message. He's just angry about that. He's angry that Dave didn't set you up correctly. So I totally
feel it. I felt it as soon as we got on. Adam knew.
Wisconsin producers, you can't trust them at all.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you can call Dave a producer. I mean, come on. Right?
If you can call me one, you can probably call Dave one.
But I don't.
There you
go. Aren't I just lovely tonight? Okay, so we're doing one question readings with Deb. We're also talking about energy as well in terms of just what we're all feeling. I mean, there is something really heavy happening out here, and we got a call. We want to get to that. And once again, folks, if you have questions that you want to ask, and Chantel, I see your questions in the chat, so I'll make sure that we get to those as well. Chantel, before I get to your question in the chat, though, I want to ask, are the questions that you're asking, are they general? Like, is that a general question, or is that specifically about you? And we'll get to your question in a second, but we're going to go over to Jolene, and we're going to talk with her. And Jolene, welcome to GhostBox Radio.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well.
Do you have a question for Deb?
Well, just general, I guess, just kind of just, I guess not really a general question. I guess not really a direct question.
Yeah, go for it. What's on your mind?
I guess it's more, I did like her page, and I will say that. I do know Ryan and Ashley, friends with them and stuff like that. So I've been following you guys for a few years and stuff like that. I do believe in all the stuff that you guys do, and I guess, let me think. Trying to think how to put this. I guess I got nothing. I don't know how to put it. I guess I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Is it something?
Dumb.
Is it?
Yes. No. Yes.
What is it? What is it?
It was more like just kind of like I got a, I know we have a lot of in my family history we have a lot of I can't think of what it's called. They believe in the afterlife and stuff like that, and
sure.
And all that stuff. And I know my mom left us a Ouija board and stuff like that, and I know my sister told Ryan about that and stuff like that, and I know my mom told my aunt about that and stuff like that, and I believe in all that stuff. And so I guess I would ask Deb, so if my mom and my dad and my aunt were trying to contact me, how would they go about doing that? And how would I know they were trying to contact me?
Okay, so let's go with one, please, and their first name.
How would I know if my father Joseph was trying to contact me?
Joseph. So first of all, we're into his energy. We're just going to make sure this is him before we pull him in. So to him being your father, we have a very direct and face-forward attitude. He feels very strict, very straightforward in the way that he taught and the way he talked and who he was. Is this correct?
I've never met him. He died when my mom was 6 months pregnant with me.
Okay, so you never met him. So you don't know who he was as a person.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, so we have no way of verification. So let's go with the mom so that we can verify her, please. What's her first name?
Teresa. And she passed away when I was.
No, don't tell the psychic anything.
Her...
Don't tell the psychic anything. Let the psychic tell you. Okay.
I have another mom that is my aunt that passed away, and you can go for that one. I won't tell you when she passed away.
Okay, so did your mom, when she was sick, did she have cancer? It feels like my body's being eaten away. She's kind of showing me the way that she was dying. It took quite a while for her to pass.
Yes, but it wasn't from cancer. But we did tell people it was cancer, but it wasn't from cancer. But we did tell people it was from cancer.
Okay.
We lied.
Well, that's what I'm picking up on the body being eaten, and it's like it's shriveling away, and it's just kind of dying.
Yes.
Yep. It may have been
we lied,
AIDS or
and we told people
like
it was cancer. What did you say?
AIDS.
What did you say?
AIDS.
Yeah.
She just told me it was AIDS.
Yeah.
And so she says to us that she wants you to know that she does communicate, and she says that red cardinals are the easiest thing for her to manipulate. And so she says to us that she sends those to the window.
Did you say red cardinal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that resonate?
My niece is really into birds, and stuff like that. So I've been getting her stuff.
Yeah, so I would just pay more attention, because the higher frequency birds are the ones that spirits can manipulate the best. And so we talk about blue jays, we talk about eagles, cardinals, higher frequency birds that fly pretty high in the sky. And so they are the ones that spirit can manipulate the easiest. And so she says to us that she does send them.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. She's doing well. They all are. And she says that she is with your father.
Okay, what about my other mom? Anything with her?
So this is just one questions readings. So if you would like to advance on it, you can get a hold of us on our Facebook or on our website.
I did. I did like that page, and I will go to that also. Thank you very much, Deb.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Have a great night.
Thank you, Jolene. Really appreciate that. Really, really appreciate that very much. So, I mean, and that's very incredible, because, I mean, it was, you were able to say exactly what you were able to say, what they were telling people, and also what it really was. And I got that at the same time. I just want to say, not that, see, of course, here I am. I'm trying to outdo you. I always seem to kind of ruin the moment. Like, I got that too, Deb. Don't worry about it.
I don't mind, actually. I don't mind at all. Because like I always tell everybody, not just I am connected. We are all connected. But just how we all hear is differently, or how we see, or how our gifts work is in different ways. And so when somebody else hears what I hear, I actually get more excited.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, I feel like, and we've talked about this before, my psychic energy, it's like all ships rise, right? That when you're with somebody who is a strong beacon, your beacon will also get a bigger, like my friend Shar, I'll be that way with her, with you as well. Like when we're doing the show, you'll see me often, nodding, and it's just because I'm getting the same, not as profound, it's not the same level as Deb. Let's be very honest about it. But that term just came to me as well. And so when you're like, you said it, because it's like, I don't want to, first of all, I'm not the one giving the readings. Secondly, it's just like, I'm just like, what if I was wrong? Well, and you're like, oh my God, Greg, what are you doing? So,
well, and whenever I get close to another medium that has the same close to the abilities that I have and has mediumship, my third eye always activates. And as soon as we get on with you and we're getting ready for the show, my third eye always activates. So I also know that you're gifted. I've always known you're gifted. And so, they say to us, If you want to be rich, hang out with rich people. You want to be psychic, hang out with some psychics.
Absolutely.
Because the energy will bleed onto you, right? It's all energetic. And the more people that we hang around with that are spiritual and spiritually inclined and risen into that frequency, we'll all rise together with that frequency the more time we spend together.
Absolutely. Larissa has a question. Do we have to call in to ask a question? And does it have to be about a deceased family member? No, it doesn't. But it could be about anything. But even though we did talk a little politics in the last segment, we ask that no politics, no medical. Like we don't ask people to be like my arm hurts, Deb. What is that? That's what doctors are for. But they're meant to be more light questions as well. The more serious questions go into full readings. But if you have one question you want to put it into the comments, you're more than welcome to. Though we do get to phone calls quicker, generally speaking. But whatever works for you, Larissa. We do have some other folks that have questions, and I don't know if you want to, and Larissa's like, no politics, because we just did it, or medical, which is what we've just been talking about. So yeah, okay, all right, Larissa, I see how this is going.
Larissa, I can't help what I channel. I'll be honest. That's why we have Dump Button Adam.
Yeah, we do. Oh, I like that. We call him Dump Button Adam for now. What do you think of that one, Adam?
It's better than some of the nicknames I've been given over the years.
Fair. That's super fair.
Dump Button Adam, I talk about you all the time.
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
We can do a t-shirt, Dump Button Adam.
I am so down for my own marketing.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So how about this? First of all, Heather says, miss your face. I'm assuming she means you, but I haven't been on in a while, so I will also count that as a win. Let's see here, Danielle, because we're making fun of her husband. Let's get her in here for a question. And Danielle had one the last time you're on, and we didn't get to it, and I felt bad. Can I ask if we could break the rules and do both questions for her?
Yeah.
Because she did ask, we didn't get time to it, and I felt bad about it. So her first one is my mom's Michelle signed to me Elton John songs? And she's not going to be able to write a sentence correctly. Forget that second question.
Is my mom's Michelle signed?
Okay, basically her mother's name was Michelle, who passed away. And ever since then, Elton John songs have been popping on everywhere. So, yeah, Danny wants to know if that's Michelle trying to contact her with Elton John popping on like algorithms, which we don't even have Elton John songs on our Spotify.
Yeah. So it's not even like something you listen to. She puts it into the playlist.
Her mom is putting it into the playlist.
Yes.
And no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And so she's also showing me like it pops like into the YouTube too.
Yeah, no, that's great. And here's the thing too, is like Danielle knew that. I'm sure. I don't want to speak for you, Danielle, but I appreciate too, you want to get that validation.
Well, I heard she's an 11 in numerology, that psychic, right?
Yes. That's true. Okay, well, I'm trying to think here. Danielle, I know you had a second one, and I know what it was, but if you want to put it into the comments for the next segment, if you want to. I don't want to force it. I don't want to say what it is because it's not mine to say. But if you have the second one, I just felt bad that we didn't get to that one the last time. Why don't we do one more before we take our next break? Because I just want to get some in here. Amber says, I have a question. I always have butterflies around me, yellow, white, and orange. Is there a message that they're trying to send me, and who is sending them?
So Amber, there's like a lot of really good changing energy around you right now. And so we think of the transformation of the caterpillar into the butterfly. And so they say to us that they are just sending you so many blessings in how much you're rising. Your guides are talking to us about so many good choices you're making for your life. And so it's like, this is the time for the butterfly. And I'm getting the song Butterfly Kisses from your angelic realm, and literally saying, now is the time to fly. Like, don't miss your chance. Here it is.
Absolutely. Well, that's interesting. Amber Does that resonate with you? And it's something about too, right? That uh, different sort of either insects, birds, whatever. Like I have a friend who, she believes, and when I say this, I don't doubt it. It's just that he's like with Danielle, they're not 100% sure. They want the validation, but her little boy had passed away at the age of 2, and ever since then she had been seeing dragonflies everywhere, and they seem to coincide with big dates. So to me it seems like a no-brainer, right? It just seems like
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
clearly what it is.
Yeah. Higher frequency insects and birds are always the ones that they can manipulate and get to move um easiest.
Absolutely, and they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. Amber says yes, that it absolutely resonates. So that's fantastic. And then she adds, "It's my time to soar, spread my wings into more new things to align with me." So that's the
Yay.
spirit, right? That's the spirit right there.
Yes.
And then she says, "Thank you so much, Deb." So there you
You're
go.
welcome.
And once again, folks, this is we have a new Facebook page for Deb, and that is called Garden of Eden Medium on Facebook. Please go and find that and like it, and you'll be able to see updates on everything that Deb is doing, including the fairs and everything else. But don't forget to go over to refinedivinepsychic.com. You can also see everything over there as well. So a couple different options there. Deb, why don't we go ahead? Let's take our second break. When we come back, I see some more questions in the comments and chats, and you can call in, folks, 952-946-6205 if you have a question for Deb, and we're going to get to more of that. You are listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. And welcome back to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. My name is Greg Bakun, and we've been having quite the conversation tonight with psychic medium Deb. Make sure you go to her new Facebook page, Garden of Eden Medium. If you go and you're looking for Refined Divine on Facebook, Facebook pulled it down, and for no reason, quite frankly. So they started a new page, Garden of Eden Medium. It takes a long time to build that back up. Please go and like the page, and also continue to check out all the retreats and all the classes and all the appearances that Deb does, and Dave, of course, is there. And please continue to support, because if you've been listening, you know that that Deb is always right. Let's put it that way. Let's just be honest, right?
Dave, did you hear that?
I am no longer Dave's friend, right? He's just like, he's an enemy now. Okay, so we got some we're doing more one question readings. You can call in 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. But we're going to go to the comments right now. We're going to go to the chat. Larissa has a question. She says, "I can communicate with everyone else's deceased family except mine. Why? Where is my brother, and where is my brother Paul? Why is he such a clown, even on the other side, ignoring me? You can answer any one question, really. I'll take any question. I know I only get one."
Well, I really, really am so happy to answer this for you, because I'll tell you what, you're not alone. So, those of us that are psychic and can connect to the other side have a hard time connecting to our loved ones, because they are so close to us, and because we have grief attached to it, we have remorse attached to it, we have love attached to it. There's so much of our reality that is attached to that person that we don't have very good discernment when it comes to talking to our own past loved ones. So we talk to our past loved ones better in signs, and like seeing things that they send, or like my brother, for instance, he always carried a yellow lighter, and so he'll leave little yellow lighters in places for me to know that he's around. But as far as like communication and seeing and hearing, I don't so much with the people that I have loved that have passed, because one, for our own psychic goodness, God wants us to know that we can't have this for ourselves. Like, I can't see my future, and nor can you or anybody who is psychic. But we can assist other people with their future. And we also aren't supposed to be able to just attach to our loved ones on the other side either, because it takes away our human life. And to live on earth, to have a human life, we need to have human experiences. And if we were always in the other realm and always doing these things for ourselves, we wouldn't be living that human experience, and we would just cycle back in, because the frequency level of our bodies would be too high, and God would just suck us back and we'd have to start over.
I have a additional question I'd like to ask to that, because I have I've known many psychic mediums over my time doing this, and one thing that
Yes.
I kind of figured is that does that apply to the living relatives as well? I get this. I have this theory that
Correct.
the closer that they are to you, the more blind you become, because you're not going to see that what's happening. And I knew somebody very close to me, actually, that her favorite aunt, was in the hospital, and her aunt was actually very gifted, but of course she couldn't see her future. And she asked the person I knew, what are the cards? Because she's a tarot card reader. What are the cards saying? And she's just getting kind of like, you'll get through this. You'll get through this. And she passed like 2 days later. And
Hmm.
and she felt horrible. She's like, I told her that she's going to be all right, and in a sense, she is, right?
She
But
is, yeah.
but the thing was, it's like, and I said to her without really knowing anything, it's like, I just feel like that the closer you are, you're not going to be able, you can't give them that knowledge, and you're not privy to it, is what I said.
Absolutely right. And so anybody who's close to me, and I always tell my students, and all these people always want to get super close to me and be my friend. And I said, you can't be my friend if you want me to be your psychic. That's not how it works.
Mhm.
So just so everybody's aware, like, no, we can't see for ourselves, and God would never want that for us, because then we could never have a human experience. And that's the whole reason for us being here. Even though we are the light for others and we do bring in messages, and we are, the light children or the light bringers or whatever you want to call us, we still have to have an earthbound life to stay
Yeah,
attached to earth.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's kind of an unfair uh, assumption put onto mediums, that people,
Yes.
and it's not even just about like your family or anything. It's like, if you got into a car accident and someone's like, well, you didn't see that one coming, did you? And it's like, well, maybe you did. Maybe you left the house being like, something's just not right. Something, you're not seeing it as a car accident, but you're seeing that I could tell that there's something different. I think a lot of us, and I don't think it's not just people who identify as gifted, it's just everybody who's like, they feel a certain way and they're like, I feel like I need to be a little bit more careful today, and I
Yes,
and I think that that's just one of those things that's an unfair assumption that's placed onto mediums.
I agree completely. I get it all the time. Well, shouldn't you know that you're a medium? No, we can't see for ourselves.
And it's rude. It's just rude. And I know that the people that say it, they don't either care or they don't realize it, but it's a very rude thing to
It
say,
is.
and that they really don't understand the dichotomy of what it is that you and other mediums actually are doing, and your purpose for having the gifts that you do. It's just as simple as
Correct.
that.
Yes.
Let's see here for Janet. She doesn't have a question, but she wanted to let us know it's 12:48 a.m. at Halifax, Nova Scotia, and she says, "Love your topics, and yes, going to Deb's site." So she's out in Nova Scotia listening tonight, and
Oh,
Janet
that's so
really
fun.
appreciate it. Yeah, that's great. Uh, let's go. Let's all go and let's do GhostBox Radio from Nova Scotia and see how
Let's
that
do
goes.
it.
Right? Yeah. And Chantel has one of the longest questions of all time. Then after she heard your response to Larissa, she's like, okay, you answered my question pretty much, because it's kind of along the same lines. But Chantel had kind of more of a general question, to see if I can find it up here, just about she's talking about kind of a little bit of what we were talking about earlier, and I'm just trying to see if I can find it. Give me one quick second here, because there's just let's just go with this question. She just asks, are things going to change with this new moon? And she meant that as general, and I think in that whole energy spectrum that
Yeah.
we've been talking about.
Yes, because we always shed layers of our reality every time the new moon cycles over. And so when we have a new moon, work really hard on that day before and that day of to really dispel anything that is residual or holding you back from having that new start after that full night moon, right? So
Hmm.
we always want to try to get rid of and work through any problems we're having. Is there some arguments that need cleared up? Is there something in your mind that has been playing on your mind nonstop? Like, what is it that we need to release and let go of? So when that new moon starts, that we can start over fresh and new, because every new moon washes it away. And so, but if we haven't worked through our stuff, when that new moon starts, then we have to go through it again.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's like a living karma.
Absolutely. And I think that, the thing is too, regardless of, what you're attributing stuff to, who you're attributing to, you know, this is something that people, no matter what you are, focused on, who you're focused on, whatever, it's stuff that it's the self-help that you need to try to figure out anyway and take care
Yeah,
of yourself, because things things aren't things aren't just bad for the Democrats. Things aren't just bad for the Republicans.
it's
Things are
bad
bad
for
for the human
everybody.
race. Right. So how do you take care of yourself? Because, I mean, just you got to think of it as helping yourself. Let's see here. Let's I got a couple more. We have about 5 minutes left. Do you think we can fit two more in?
Yeah. And
Let's try.
just always know that helping yourself is helping others too, guys, for sure.
It's true. Absolutely. Because you
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, yeah, 100%. Crystal asks, do my spirit guides and angels have any advice for my marriage? Greg's advice is don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Crystal, so when I look into that energy, they say that communication is key, that the communication piece is being dropped. And so they just want you to understand that your truth isn't always their truth, and their truth always isn't your truth. But we can come to an understanding and agreement, and we need to make the communication more coming from both sides so that there can be an understanding met. So they just say to us communication.
Hmm, there you go. That's good. I'm curious, Crystal, if that resonates with you, because that seems like something that's very kind of purposefully said to you about that question. So, love to know. Emily asked the question because her mom won't. My mom has had three past loved ones check in with her via dreams after they passed to let her know they are okay. Is there a reason is there a reason that her grandma Rosemary hasn't? My mom is scared. She's still mad at her.
She's definitely not mad at her. And so she was very religious. I can feel like her religious like background in her faith she's showing me. She says to us that because of the religion or because of the way that they believed, she didn't see that as something she should do. So
Hmm.
she says to us that she's not going to go knocking on anybody's night doors. And they said that you would understand this. And she's kind of giggling with this. And she says to us that she doesn't have any unfinished business. And she passed just the way that she wanted to, she says. And you all know that.
Hmm. That's cool. That's great. It's interesting how we have those fears about how our loved ones are still perceiving us after they passed. Like you said, the unfinished business for sure. We are about down to a minute and a half or so. Deb, is there any like upcoming events or anything that you want to talk about?
Yeah, we are gonna have the Winona show, the Refined Divine Winona show. We are going to be there at Signatures. It's a beautiful ballroom. We're gonna have the holistic fair there. I'll be doing a gallery. We're doing a sound healing. Greg's gonna be talking. It's gonna be a good time.
I,
It's gonna be in Winona, Minnesota at Signatures on the 20th. It's a Sunday. We're gonna do 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. Door prizes drawn all day, and we are doing free entry that day. So
wow.
no entry fee. You just come on down and come on in and be the winner of all those prizes. We're gonna try something new.
That's great. And yes, I will be speaking that day, and hopefully better than I'm speaking tonight. You could tell I haven't done this in a couple days. It's amazing how it kind of leaves you, isn't it? Yeah. So
It's okay.
Winona, that's gonna be fantastic. I did the last event I did with you and Dave was in Rochester, and that was so much fun, and it's so welcoming. The energy is so good
Yes,
at these events, and you really look after everybody who is there, both the practitioner, vendors, and of course the attendees. So
I
uh,
do. And all the practitioners are screened by me too. So they are authentic and 100%.
absolutely. So please do so. I'll be making that information. I'll be putting on all my websites and whatever else. And once again, folks, please, if you haven't done so, please do us a big favor. Go over to Facebook and go over to Garden of Eden Medium. Like that page. That's Deb's new page since Refined Divine is no longer on Facebook. Deb, thank you so much. It was a great conversation tonight. Thank you. I really
Yes.
appreciate it. You're going to be back in 2 weeks?
Yes.
Awesome. Love it. We missed you. It's good to see you and Dave again. We're going to be back on Friday with a live show, Casual Friday. Everyone, have a great night.